Persian eyes, but she's from Nicaragua. Thought you was Persian love. Are we turning up or are we wasting time? Girl, don't waste my time.
So what is up, Africana fam? It's your girl Young Africana reporting live from the gutter. Well, this is a nice looking gutter, but welcome back to my channel. If you are returning and if you are new, what is up? Go ahead and smash that subscribe button, also that like button if y'all already feeling how I look. Okay, I'm looking yumsicle. I'm looking very much so. It's giving luxury, it's giving everything, y'all. But this look is so beautiful, and for it to be a drugstore look, come on, y'all can't get any better than this, y'all. Every single product that I use on my face are underneath $20. Y'all heard right. Every single product that I use is underneath $20, and you can find pretty much every single product that I use at your local Ulta beauty supply store or Amazon as well too. I know there's about like 2 things that I got from Amazon, but everything else was from Ulta, y'all. So y'all could go ahead and cop up, go ahead and get y'all shopping list ready, get your notes ready to learn how to beat a face like a baddie on a budget though. I had so much fun recording this look. I definitely get into full-blown detail how I do my face, especially for beginners. I teach y'all exactly how I use my brushes. So you guys are going to be learning exactly how I got this look, what techniques I use, what products I use, the tools, everything. So please stay tuned. It's going to be a lengthy video, so get your popcorn ready, get your food ready, get your comforter and some wine ready, and let's just go ahead and watch this class. Class is now in session. So if y'all want to see how I achieve this look, then keep on watching. Alright, y'all, so what I like to personally start off with first are my eyebrows. I'm a eyebrow first girl. I don't like doing my foundation first and then my eyebrows. I feel like this is kind of counterproductive, at least for me. So I do my eyebrows first. So for my eyebrows, like I said, everything that I will be using is drugstore friendly, or at least under $20 per item, please, y'all. The first thing I'm going to be using is my Juvias Place Eye Sculpt Eye Shade Brow Pencil, and this is in the color Ebony. The first thing I want to make sure that I do is comb up my eyebrow hairs. You do want to make sure that your eyebrows are at least plucked, if not threaded or shaped. Your eyebrows do serve as your foundation, so if your eyebrows are all over the place, when you draw them on, they're going to look like they're all over the place, and you do not want that. So I'm just making sure that I'm combing upwards. For the front hairs, I like to comb upwards, and as for the rest of the hairs going towards the tail, I kind of comb in a side motion. I'm actually going to pin my hair away because I do not want to get my hair messed up. Alright, cool. Now we looking real nice. I'm now going to take my pencil, and I love this pencil because it's super thin, so your eyebrows don't look like they're kind of like all over the place when you're drawing them on. It's pretty precise with the lining, so I love that. So I was gonna start right here. I'm not gonna start where the hair starts at. I'm going to start like 1/8 of the eyebrow, which is right here. So right before it starts getting sparse up here, I'm gonna start right here, and I'm just going to use light hair strokes just to carve it out. And you want to make sure that you're following your eyebrows' natural hairline, and then I'm going to do that the same on the top. I'm going to start exactly where I started at the bottom, up top, and I'm just going to trace my eyebrows' natural hairline. And I'm just using light strokes. And now I'm going to start filling in the eyebrow. Again, I'm not touching this area just yet. Actually, I'm not going to touch it at all. You just want to make sure that you get all the sparse areas in your eyebrows first. And that's how your eyebrows should look. Alright, y'all. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to gently, and I mean gentle, we're going to gently start coming to the front of the eyebrows at the bottom. Literally just super light, because this color is a bit on the dark side. That's it. That's all you need to do, mamita. That's all you need to do, okay? So just literally just the lightest hair strokes you can do. It'd be hard for me sometimes because I am naturally heavy-handed, so I be trying, yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to take this woolly part of my eyebrow pencil, and now I'm just going to literally just comb the front of my hairs upwards. As y'all can see, the pencil is now starting to blend into the eyebrows, giving me like that nice diffused eyebrow look in the front. I'm going to do it on the other side as well too. And then once you're done with that, now I'm just going to go on like a, again, hair-like strokes, and I'm going to blend out the rest of the pencil. And this just helps you ensure that your eyebrows are not harsh, and you just blend them out a lot more evenly and seamlessly. And boom, your eyebrows should look something like this. Now this stuff is completely optional, but this just gives your eyebrow a little more va-va-voom, if you get what I'm trying to say. So, where is it? You laughing, girl? Let me stop. Alright, so like I said, this part is completely optional, but I do like to do this for fun. You can skip this if you want to, but I feel like this does adds more oomph to your eyebrows. And I'm going in with the Juvias Place Eye Sculpt Eye Shade Brow Pen. So we're going to be using the brow pen to give myself some hair-like strokes, at least at the front of my hairs. I just feel like it just makes your eyebrows just look so much more natural than just that marker type look. So I like to start from the bottom. It's a felt tip type of pen. You want to make sure you go really soft. You don't want to go super hard. Again, like light hair strokes. And I'm going to go upwards. Again, super light. I pray that the camera can pick up on this. Ah! I kind of messed up a little bit. But it's okay. We're going to fix that. Again, for my lovely beginners, you can skip this because it is a bit hard. Even I mess up a lot. But it's easily fixable. And I forgot to say the color. The color of this is in the color Chocolate. And Chocolate is a bit lighter than Ebony. And I feel like it's perfect for the beginning of the eyebrows because you get like that gradient effect from light to dark. Alrighty, babe. We're going to set my eyebrows in place using the Juvias Place Eyebrow Gel. And this is in the color Chocolate. And again, like this just adds like the finishing touches for your eyebrows so it could look nice and sculpted and just in place, especially if you are a curly eyebrow or messy eyebrow gal. This definitely sets your eyebrows into place, and we love that for us. So now on to concealing these brows. I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer with the satin finish. This is probably one of the best concealers in the drugstore market. If you have not done and get some, what are you doing? And I'm using the color Rich Chocolate, and I'm just going to be using this to carve out the bottom of my eyebrows. I do something a little bit different for the top, so stay tuned. As you can see, it has like the little applicator tip. I like to put it on my hand. My hand is like literally like my canvas, y'all. It's like that. But now I'm going in with my Morphe E32 brush. This is like a rounded concealer brush. And I'm just going to press back and forth on each side. And I'm going to mix it with the same concealer, but in the color Deep Chestnut. Deep Chestnut is a bit lighter. So literally I'm going to do the same thing like how I did when I drew on my eyebrows. I'm going to start like 1/8 of the way of the eyebrow first. I'm going to start right here. And then literally use hair-like strokes and the curved part of the brush to carve out my eyebrows. And I'm just going in the shape of how my eyebrows were drawn. And after that's done, I'm going to drag down the concealer. And then now I'm going to go towards the front. I like to save the front for last, because I feel like I have a general idea of how my eyebrows look like when I do the rest, and then save the front for last. so I know like not to cut it, you know, too high up or too low. And now I'm just going to go in with my Morphe M173 brush, and I'm just going to buff out that concealer at the bottom. Now, what I like to do for the top of the brow is I like to use the leftover concealer that I have on my arm and mix it up with just a little bit of my actual foundation shade. So the foundation shade I will be using today is L'Oreal Paris True Match Foundation, and this is in the color Milk Chocolate. Now I love this foundation. This foundation is oil free, so your makeup will last, especially if you're an oily or combination gal. Okay, people be sleeping on this foundation, but this is like the holy grail of drugstores. Go get you one. So I'm just using a bit of the foundation and just mixing it in with the concealer. Not too much. You still want the highlight, but not as much as the bottom has. And now you're just gonna do the same. You're just gonna carve out and outline the top of your eyebrow. And then I'm just using my concealer brush just to drag out that concealer so I can blend it out. And boom, it should look like this. And I'm gonna do my other eyebrow off camera. Alright babes, now before we even get started with the whole, you know, priming and foundation, all the good stuff, you gotta make sure that your skin is moisturized. Listen, we can't be having crocodile skin underneath our makeup. Like, we need to moisturize and make sure that our skin is put together, okay? This goes for oily, dry, combination, everybody. It applies to everyone. We need to moisturize. So what I like to use is my Neutrogena Hydro Boost. I'm just going to use just a little bit of it. Just a little. But I feel like this definitely helps with like the overall finish of your foundation. Like it just, everything just looks more together when you're moisturized. When your edges is moisturized, when your skin is moisturized, it's everything. Making sure I get everywhere, especially underneath my eyes, because that's where it usually tends to be the most driest. And now onto primer, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. And this bad boy does come with a brush, of course, sold separately. You know, we live in America. It also comes with kind of like this little scoop thing. We are just going to scoop some of that and put that on our skin. I'm going in with the matte Putty Primer. And I'm just going to use the brush just to blend it out. And I'm going in patted motion, so let me make sure you just kind of pat it just so that you don't get no streaks in your face. And I'm applying it especially on over here, like right before like over here gets oily. That's where like my pores are the biggest. I do have porous skin on my cheeks. It is what it is. God gave me baby craters on my face, but it's okay, because I like being the moon. And again, like it's just good to always moisturize before you put any type of mattifying primer on you. Your skin will actually become very, very oily if you don't moisturize. What's behind it is if your skin is dry, your face or your pores is going to tell you, hey, we need some water. And it's going to send out water, all right? And your face is going to look like a frying pan. After I'm done with that, I'm now going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. Alright. I'm going to first focus on the parts that matter the most, which is definitely over here. And I'm going to use that brush again just to blend out that product. I love the smell of it. It smells like it has tea tree oil in it. Alright y'all, so now that that's all blended out and I'm looking like Casper the Ghost, we're going to liven up my face a little bit more and we're going to put on the foundation, which is the most fun part, for me at least. And your girl likes to go in with a mixture, right? So like I said, I do love to use my L'Oreal True Match foundation in the color Milk Chocolate, which is on the neutral side. They do have a cool neutral and warm. This is the neutral. I also like to mix it up with the L'Oreal Paris True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. And this one is in the color... What color is this? Oh my gosh, where is it at? This is in the color Very Deep. So, you want to make sure you shake the two, of course. Want to make sure all the product gets nice and mixed. Ha-cha-cha. Ha-cha-cha-cha. Alright. I would definitely say though, milk chocolate is definitely more of like my actual skin color. That would probably even like my winter tone, to be honest. But I just like to be a little bit darker. And I like to mix with the darker one just so like I can have more wiggle room. So say if I'm using like concealer, I'm not looking super light. So I am going to use this flat shader brush. And I'm going to be applying the foundation like this. And I'm starting off with milk chocolate first. Okay. Alright, now to buff out your foundation, you need a good, dense, not too dense, foundation brush. And this is my holy grail. I've been using this for like 4 years now, since 2019. And this is the Real Techniques buffer brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and start patting in the foundation. As y'all can see, I'm literally just, I'm like almost kind of punching myself. You don't want to do that literally, but literally just go in buffing motions. You don't want to go in just swiping motions because then you're going to start causing streaks. So literally just buff. Take your time. And you just want to make sure you get all of that surface area though. Alright. And I like to leave the top for last because I like to kind of like work in sections just so nothing kind of dries out on me. And again, just pat. And as y'all can see, that's like literally like the perfect match to like my actual skin color. Telling y'all, L'Oreal True Match, it will give you that true match, alright? I'm just making sure I'm just like blending everything out. Okay, cool. Alright, now back into concealer. I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, again in the color Rich Chocolate. And I'm going to apply that on the T-zones of my face. So I'm applying like right at the corner of my eye. And then I'm just going to drag it out up top. You want to make sure that you're not dragging it too low, especially if you're looking for like that lifted type of look. The last thing you ever want to do is to drag your concealer very low. And then I'm adding over here my mustache because you gotta cover that up. A little bit over here. A little bit over here. And then also the bridge of my nose. And I kind of like to do like an exclamation point, so it's like boop, and then, you know, and that just kind of creates like that button nose type of effect that I definitely love. We love a cute button nose. Alright, so while we're waiting for that concealer to dry, I do like to go back in with my foundation brush. And I like to just literally brush in the edges of the concealer just so that the concealer and the foundation can marry each other. Like, so I'm literally just only touching the edges of the concealer so it can blend into the foundation. Like so. Alright, so usually for me, the only place I really kind of contour with like a liquid or like a stick is my nose area. I feel like everything else don't really need like a actual contour. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Juvias Place foundation stick in the color Congo. This is literally like the deepest one, and I'm going in with like a flat shader brush. I'm going to just lightly tap it onto the brush. I'm just kind of using my skin a little bit just to kind of like, you know, get rid of any excess, so like I don't like do too much. And what I like to do is like I like to start like right at my eyebrow. So literally I'm going to press into right where my eyebrow is at. And I have like the brush in a diagonal in a sense. And what this does is like it just helps like your face just look more like model-esque. I don't know how to explain it, but this definitely adds more dimension, especially when you bring it into your eyebrows. It just makes your face just look more put together, to be honest. And right now I'm just carving out the same area of where I did my highlight for my nose. Want to make sure that they kind of touch each other. And I'm just kind of like slightly just dragging it out a little bit. I'm buffing it out. Okay, so once I reach the end of it, I'm now going to cut it off where I kind of like stop the exclamation point. And I'm going to just go across like that. And then I'm going to outline the little point of my exclamation point with the contour. Sounds super difficult, but you get the gist. I'm just literally outlining the exclamation point. Alright, but now on to blend this bad boy. I'm going to be using my Real Techniques face buffer brush. This is like their newest version of it. And I'm going to start from the bottom going up. I like to save my eyes for last. And the same way you do your patting motions with the foundation brush, you're going to do the same with your concealer. Alright, and then back into the foundation brush. Going to just blend out the edges of the concealer so it can marry into the foundation. And to blend out the nose highlighter, I do like to go back in with my smaller buffer brush, just so I can kind of keep that highlight in place. And I'm just kind of like pressing it down while I'm doing that. And now I'm going to go in with like the small bullet brush. This is my Morphe E18. And I am just going to blend out that contour now. And I'm just going to blend it into my eyebrows. And then kind of drag the contour downwards. And also kind of blend it into the concealer a little bit so it's not as harsh. Alright, so now we have the eyes left. And we're going to start blending it. I like to start at the bottom of where I last left at. I want to start at the bottom first. Just so that I don't drag it any lower than what it needs to be. And I kind of like lock that highlight into place. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. And then when it comes to like the inner corner, I kind of like to just kind of press it right against where the contour is at, so it could kind of chisel it some more. So literally y'all see me just kind of using the edge and just kind of pressing it in right next to the contour. Alright, so I like to give my highlight a little extra va-va-voom. So when I do that, I like to go in with Deep Chestnut, which is a bit lighter than the Rich Chocolate. And I am only going to apply that on in the inner corners. And keep it there as well too. And this also just helps with like flashback. Okay, and we're gonna let that dry. And while we let that dry, we're gonna do our eyeshadow now. For me, for everyday look, it's just like a brown smoky eye. I feel like this just gives my eyeshadow enough glam. But again, it's like everyday. So I like to go back in with the Juvias Place foundation stick in the color Congo. And I'm just using like this buffer brush. This buffer brush is actually the Morphe E17 brush. And I am just going to go ahead and take some of that and then put that on my lid. And I just use this as a base. So I'm putting it on my lid first, and then I'm kind of like slowly bringing it upwards. Just a wee bit. But I'm kind of like slowly diffusing it so it's not as harsh as we're going towards the brow bone. And I also like to use this to connect it to my eye, my nose contour. So I'm like slowly dragging it and like connecting it with the nose contour. And again, this just gives you a look like that finished look. I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes it look whole. Again, just connect it to your nose contour and just start blending it once you get upwards so it's not as harsh. So before at the lid, I'm just kind of patting it in, and then as we get to the top, I'm just blending it. Okay, so now I'm going to blend out that concealer. I'm only keeping it in the inner corner. I'm not going to drag it out, so I'm literally just pressing it and slightly bringing it out. But I'm still keeping it in the inner corner family. While you're doing that, you just want to use like the edge of the brush to kind of carve out that, to chisel out your nose contour again. Like that. Y'all see that? Like you see like that highlighted area? It's definitely, you're not going to get no flashback. So again, when you're patting it, just literally pat it in place and bring it out just a little bit. That's why you also want to make sure that it's like a bit like dry or like tacky, just so that it's kind of harder for it to blend out everywhere. Y'all see what's going on. Don't act like I don't see it. Y'all see what's going on. Y'all see what's going on. Y'all, I really think that there's something wrong with me. I'm gonna like low-key go back into the little buffer brush that I used to blend out my nose contour. Blend out any like strong lines of demarcation between the concealer and also the contour. And boom, y'all see that? Come on. Alright, y'all. I like to go in with my foundation brushes one more time just to blend out the edges of the concealer. Now what I like to do is I like to go in with a little liquid slash solid slash, I don't know, but it's kind of like a liquid, not really liquid, it's like a putty. It's a putty blush. Actually, this is from e.l.f. This is their putty blush, and I like to use this right after I do like my concealer and stuff. And this just helps your blush become more pigmented. This is actually in the color Bali. So right now I'm going in with my Ulta Beauty Precision Foundation brush. It looks like this. And I'm going to just kind of put it in the putty. And I'm just going to like dab it and stuff. And what I like to do is I like to put on the apples of my cheeks. So I like to smile. See where the little balls at? And I keep it right up there. And if y'all are dark skinned girls, y'all need to invest in orange and berry shade blushes. It will literally bring out like your skin color like crazy. Like they had us fooled back in the day that blush wasn't for us, but it is for us. It's just the certain shades that y'all use could either make or break you. You can use any shade, to be honest. It's all about how you rock it. But for me, my personal faves are oranges and berry type colors. It's like in the purplish, reddish type family. I like to use those as well as orange. Orange is my favorite though. It just brings your skin a lot of warmth. So I'm literally applying that on the apples of my cheeks. Okay, so literally the best thing I invested in from Amazon thus far in the makeup world of Amazon are these. Y'all need to get y'all one of these, okay? It's the chicken salad, okay? It's really giving. Like, honestly, it changed my whole setting game to like a new level, all right? But I like to use this so I can set my under eyes with my powder. So when it comes to powders, my two holy grails that I love using, that I like to mix up, of course, are these, all right? So this is the Benign powder in the color Chestnut, and I like to mix it a little bit with the pretty pink. Yes, the pretty pink will get you right. Y'all, TikTok put me onto this, and ever since I've been in love, I've been a fan, I've been a stan, and that's it, all right? But yeah, I like to mix these two up just a little bit. Now for these personally, you can only find them like on Amazon or like your local Ricky's if you're like in the NYC area. Or I think they have Ricky's in other places, but Ricky's also sell this as well. But I'm just taking a lid of like another powder because the lid for this just cannot do anything, honestly. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of Chestnuts in here, and then a little bit of pretty pink, and then I like to kind of just swoosh it around. Now don't make sure you don't spill it on yourself now, just to make it more chestnutty. And honestly, this is perfect for dark skin. Usually, you know, the fan fave was banana, but I am banana skin tone, okay? I'm more of like a fried plantain skin tone, and that's okay because I love me some fried plantain. That's mixed up. Y'all can see this is how it looks like. It looks a bit ashy, but trust the process, okay? Trust the process, y'all. So before I do that, I'm gonna make sure I kind of blend out my concealer again, making sure that I'm not creasing. And I'm literally applying it in the areas where I applied my highlight at, which is all the areas I applied my lighter concealer at. So over here, my T-zone, over here, over here, and over here. All right, babes, so we're going to go in with this, and we're going to gently pat it. Now the key to have like a flawless bake is you want to make sure you get as little product as possible. And you're going to just press it in to just set it in place. You want to make sure that you don't have any excess powder lingering around first. But you just want to make sure that it's set in place. So use as little as possible. I feel like the biggest mistake people do is just go in and just start baking automatically. And that's how you get flashback. And I love this because it just has like that little triangle tips, so you just get in the creases and crevices of this bad boy, y'all. Want to make sure you get underneath your eyes. That's where you crease the most at. And you just want to make sure like you kind of like get as close to the eyebrows as possible, because sometimes over there it could look a little bit oily and we don't want that. All right, now we could go into the full-blown bake now. And what I like to do is, now that I'm baking, I'm going to like kind of use the edge of the puffer brush just to kind of carve out that contour. As you can still, like, I still didn't use like a whole bunch of powder, but y'all see it, like it just looks snatched. It's giving snatched. But now onto a powder contour. Like I said, the only place I really kind of like liquid contour is my nose. Everywhere else I feel like you don't really need it, because I do like the softer look of contour. I'm not like a heavy contour girl, considering I feel like my facial structure kind of like is already like naturally, I have like natural hollows, so I feel like I don't really need like the extra oomph in it, you know. But actually, before we contour, we're going to use some blush. I'll be using the Juvias Place Blush Rouge in Value 1. And as you can see, it has like this orange shade and this pink shade. And yeah, I just really like it, honestly. So I'm gonna kind of like go in between two colors, to be honest, because I like the mix of it. I'm telling you, like the orange and the reds will just do it to you for the blush. And now onto contour. I'm going to be using the Juvias Place Bronze Bronze and the color Deep Dark. And I'm going in with my Morphe E4 brush, and I'm just using the darkest shade right here. And I'm literally applying it right underneath that blush. But I'm doing it in like an upwards motion. Boom, just like that. Y'all see that? Y'all see the material, come on. And what I like to do is I like to apply it just on like the outer perimeter of my face. So pretty much everywhere that I did not apply highlight is where I'm going to apply my contour. Alright, and now for the nose contour, I'm going to be using my Morphe E62 brush. Again, using that same shade. And this time, I'm just going to be patting it in and applying it wherever I apply where my nose contour is at. Ooh, y'all see it coming together. It's coming into fruition. We like that. I'm now going to go into my NYX palette. This is the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette. It has like a whole bunch of nudes in here and stuff. And we love nudes, okay? So I'm going to go into this brown shade right here. I'm going to be using my Morphe M433 brush just to pat that in. And I love how pigmented this is. And again, you can literally find all of these products, and you can find all of these products in Ulta. But I do want to remind people, especially like doing makeup, you do not have to buy all your things at once. Please don't. You're actually gonna ask yourself for hell if you get everything at once, specifically because you don't even know if these things work for you. We have like this beautiful red, and I'm just literally just kind of patting it in. I'm going for like a monochromatic type look, so just one color and one color only. Super simple, especially for my beginners. I feel like for up here, I just kind of like to just buff it out just a little bit, just so it's nice and blended at least. And again, you want to make sure that the eyeshadow and the nose contour marry each other, so you kind of want to kind of just blend that in with the nose contour as well. And I like to bring it into my eyebrow at the very edge of it. And boom, y'all see that? Oh my gosh. I look like a freaking baddie. Alright, so to remove this excess powder, I'm going to be using my L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation and powder foundation, of course. And this is in the color, does it not say what color this is? Oh, sorry. So this is in the color Deep Amber, which is $3.75. And y'all, this is the biggest tip that you need to do. You need a foundation product. You need a foundation powder to finish up the rest of your face. You can either use it at just the areas that you didn't apply contour powder nor highlight powder, or you can use this all over. I like to use it all over just so everything can blend out, so like there's like no lines of demarcation. So I like to go with this big fluffy brush right here. This is my Morphe E41. I like to just pat, 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 pat. And we're gonna pat, 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 pat all over my face. And I'm patting while still kind of swiping a little bit so I can remove the excess from my face. And y'all, this just makes your face it just go together real bad, okay? You need this in your life, especially as a beginner. It just makes everything foolproof for you. Y'all see that? Automatic. I'm just trying to make sure I definitely get the contour part. Which I see why I applied a lot of blush, because it goes away once I do this. And now on to eyeliner. It's my favorite eyeliner I like to use, whether if I'm just doing a drugstore or I'm doing my regular day-to-day makeup look, is my NYX Epic Ink Liner. And this is like a felt tip liner. And it's very sturdy. I feel like this is very beginner friendly versus the liquid ones where it's kind of like flimsy a little bit. It is not flimsy with this one at all. It's kind of hard recording how to do my liner, but I'm going to try, okay? I'm going to try. And I just like to start at the inner corner. And I'm just doing like a small baby wing. I don't like big wings like that, especially when it comes to my everyday makeup. I like to do small baby wings. So after I drew that out, now I'm going to start at the tip of the wing and then just kind of drag it back out like that. And then I'm just going to fill in the rest. I feel like this liner is perfect for beginners. And I'm going to use this bullet brush, and I'm just gonna tap it in. Now this is completely optional, but I feel like this kind of takes my everyday look and gives it more of a like a, oh, this is kind of like a glam a little bit, but it's still simple. So again, you can skip this if you want to, but I like to do it. I started doing it and I actually really like it. So I'm going to literally just apply just a bit of it in the inner corners of my eyes. And this is gonna be like the base for my white eyeshadow. And y'all, I've gotten into white eyeshadow and I love it. Like, I feel like it's better and it's more elegant than an actual shimmer. Oh, I love it already. And now I'm going into the palette and I'm using this lightest color as my eyeshadow. And I am just using that same brush that I use for the concealer. And I am just going to apply it in the inner corner. Now for liner, I'm going to be using my Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil, and this is the waterproof version of it. I love how like a deep black this is. Woo. And I do get this request a lot, and it's how to do that Aaliyah J type cat liner in my inner corners. And I like to do this just because it gives like my eye shape. It just get mixing more cat eye. So again, you want to make sure you're using this felt tip one. I feel like this is probably the easiest liquid liner to use. I start the bottom first, and I just like to go in like a diagonal a little bit. You want to start off slow first. And just light strokes. And then I start at the top and kind of meet it. Boom, just like that. Now for some thick lower lash action, and if your eyelashes are struggling for dear life, I have a hack to put y'all on to. Alright, so I like to use L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise, and this is the primer. You want to make sure you prime your lower lashes especially before you apply any type of mascara, and this just gives your lashes the illusion that it is super thick and beautiful and nice and all that extra stuff. It does come white, so be careful of like not trying to get it on the rest of your makeup. I am just going to apply just a thin layer of it, and you can do like 1 to 2 layers. To be honest, I just go 1 because I don't need that much. Alright, now to coat the lashes with some actual mascara, I'm going in with my Essence Get Big Lashes mascara. These mascaras are actually super cheap but very effective. Just gonna be very careful, especially with this kind of like wand, because it is very big. I kind of just like to use the tip of it and just kind of like coat my lashes with the mascara that way, so it's less likely for me to actually get it on my lower lash line. That's a lot of work though. It's done. We're almost done, you guys. I'm so sorry that this process takes forever, but I'm trying to be as detailed as possible. Y'all know how I could get. I get real detailed, so I hope y'all are enjoying so far. We're almost done though. But now on to eyelashes, right? I have a particular way of putting on my eyelashes. I like to go in with my Duo Lash Glue, but I like to put it on my actual eyelid. And I'm going to show you guys how I do that. So boom, invest in this, okay? I got this for $10 off of Amazon. This is actually the Tweezerman brand. I got this for $10 off of Amazon. So what I like to do, right, so I don't get it on my actual lashes and it's like, you know, a big gluey mess like how I used to do it. I like to use this. And we're gonna use it kind of like where like it kind of curves, like where, you know, your natural lash line kind of curves. And I'm literally just going to press it down and then hold my lashes like so. I'm going to apply the lash glue right across your lash line. It's just that simple. Now while we wait for that to dry, I'm gonna go in with my mascara. Just want to make sure you kind of coat it so it blends in easily with your falsies. And the falsies that I'm using, they're no brand in particular. I actually just went ahead and I stacked 2 lashes together and I got this beautiful style. So if you guys want to see a video on how I stack my lashes so it can look more dramatic and ba ba boom, comment that down below if you want to see that actually. I'm going to hold just the middle part of the lashes with my tweezers. I'm going to be using my tweezers and holding the middle part, and I'm going to latch on the middle part of my lashes first, like that. You want to make sure that the glue dry clear before you apply it. And then I'm going to go in the inner corners next. And then the outer corner last. And as y'all can see, that just gives me a whole different look. Ooh, alright, so on to like the final touches, I promise y'all. I'm going to do a little highlight, but I don't have like an actual highlight that I use that is drugstore. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to be using some eyeshadow. Alright, so we're going back into this palette. Clearly this palette was the main character. Really like champagne goldish color. Using like this small bullet brush from like Morphe. And I'm just going to apply that on just the button of my nose. And then also the bridge of my nose. Okay, so now to the last part, which is lip liner. I personally struggle to find a good either drugstore high-end lip liner that honestly is deep enough because I love me a brown lip liner, but the brown is gonna be browner for me. The brown be looking like ashy nude on me. So what I like to do is I like to go in with a black lip liner and then use like that ashy brownish one to go on top of it, just to give myself like a true deep brown. Like I don't want no reddish brown, I want a nice cool tone brown on top. I also like to overline my lip just a little bit, just a wee bit. And I'm using that same black eyeliner I use underneath my eyes to line my lips. And then I'll be going in with the Juvias Place Luxe Lip Liner in the color Kola. And if you have any suggestions to an actual dark brown lip liner, please leave that down below. Leave down your suggestions, I will definitely be reading them. And now on to the lip gloss. I'm using my NYX Butter Gloss in the color Madelline. Love how true of a nude Madelline is. And now to top it, I'm going to be using my NK lip gel, and this is from the Beauty Supply store. This is absolutely my favorite clear lip gloss. It just gets the job done. And now to set my face, to finish off this look, I'm going to be using my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. You want to make sure you close your eyes and don't squint. And then I'm going back in with my foundation brush just to pat that in. I like to spray some on my foundation brush. Just make sure I get it, especially underneath my eyes.
And overall, these are the finished results. I hope you guys enjoy this everyday drugstore makeup tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you love this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.